Hello and welcome to another episode of the Breeze and Bants podcast. Today we've got no Bicker, but you got Josh, you got Spleezy, Pleasy, Please
Lena.
Me, Peasy,
Lena,
Squeezy.
just call me by my name.
Alright, cool. Lena the Wiener. Lena the Wiener. Yeah? Cool.
Won't be touching yours if you keep it up. Telling you now. Anyways, don't you dare.
That doesn't even happen. We're just discussing why yawns are contagious.
Uh-huh.
And I came up with this fun fact, which is not true.
Ugh.
But I said that it's because when you yawn, your brain subconsciously thinks that someone's stealing your oxygen.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I think I said that to someone before and they were like, no, mate, that's incorrect. And turns out they were right and I was wrong. And it's not very often that happens, is it?
Mm-hmm. I'll go with that.
Anyway, how are you? Let's get the niceties out the way. What the fuck are you drinking? It looks like diarrhea in a jar.
Shut up. It's iced coffee.
What is it with these jars anyway now? But there's like these craze
Like
of like these glass jars that like...
Yeah, with like the wooden tops. But this glass straw, wet. There is something so about drinking out of a glass straw. Like a cold drink out of a glass straw. I cannot explain it.
That's weird.
It's fucking amazing.
The metal straws,
They just feel nice and bougie.
The metal straws are alright, but I feel like with the metal straws, like they stay cleaner.
They grate on your teeth.
No, I just feel
the
like
metal
the glass
straws. I don't
ones...
like it. I don't like the feeling of metal on my teeth. But this, amazing.
Do you ever get something like, you know, when you do something that just really gives you cringe?
Yeah, like nails on chalkboard.
So like when I'm driving with Grayson in the back, I always like put my hand back to like, just like so he can hold my hand or whatever. And the metal bit of my Apple Watch, it's making me thinking about it. Always like hits the side of his like car seat and rubs down.
Oh yeah,
I think it's metal, so it's metal on metal, and it goes like, and it's like.
Oh no, you know what?
I've got
that
like
is
the
for
funny
me?
feeling thinking about it.
Do you know what that is for me?
When I'm chewing.
No.
When I'm eating.
No, when you're out at a restaurant and people are like the fork scrapes on the plate.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did that the other day. Yeah.
I hate it. Oh yuck.
Yeah, there's something.
It just tickles your brain, not in a nice way.
It feels like there's a needle going through here and out, like one ear out of the other, and it's like, because I know when I do it with Grace, and now I know it's coming. I still know it's coming, but I still fucking do it, and I'm like, oh, no. I can feel it. I can actually hear it. Like,
yeah, yuck.
Anyway, how we do, like so. We Bicker's not here because he's got tonsillitis, everybody, and Lena's got like this fucking phobia of being ill at any point, so she won't be. I mean, to be fair, tonsillitis probably shouldn't be around it, but this one's got like this phobia of being around anyone who's ill.
Nah, stomach flu. I'm moving out for a few days.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No way. And the thing is, it's not about being like sick. Like Grayson went to a birthday party a few weeks ago. Took him to a birthday party. Ended up one of the kids that was there ended up having hand, foot, and mouth disease. Full fucking panic.
That sounds like a zombie apocalypse.
Honestly, full panic. Because I had a wedding in a few days, and I was like, motherfucker, I cannot show up to this wedding
with red blotches all over your
looking like I've got friggin' and like my hands and everything. Can you imagine that? All I do is hold my camera all day. They hurt enough as it is. Imagine rocking up to a wedding with your hands all full of blisters in your face and shit. No.
Like someone with Fields of Eyes.
Honestly.
What's his name?
I don't know that. The inbred family, innit? Honestly. Oh, so bad.
What's his fucking name now? That's going to wind me up.
Ray.
Ray, yeah.
Ray or something, innit? My dad showed us that.
It's like a couple of miles from your parents, isn't it? Like a couple of hours. Fucking Hills of Eyes shit going on. Wrong turn, motherfuckers, I tell you.
Honestly.
It's actually minging.
Yeah, no, but I have like severe emetophobia, so I can't stand being around people that are sick, knowing people are sick, anything like that. It just...
But tell you what you can stand is if you want to test if any food's gone off or mouldy, I have to try it first.
Yeah. You have a stronger stomach than me. It's that simple.
She's literally willing to kill me every evening to save going and buy new cheese.
Yeah. Fun fact. So about a year ago today, Josh and I were on holiday making our son, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow, because tomorrow's my birthday.
Yeah, it was on your birthday.
I'm disappointed you didn't fucking start with. I had a popping outfit on that night as well.
Oh yeah, I got the
Insert
video.
picture here. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine?
That would be flagged on YouTube.
Yeah.
We would be banned. No, yeah,
No,
you did look rather sexy. I might actually just have a little. Carry on talking. I'm just gonna have a
Have a
little
little gander,
remembrance.
right?
It'll come up on my memories tomorrow
If
anyway.
you see his microphone lifting up a little bit,
It'll come up on my memories tomorrow, and then I'll have to go downstairs for 5 minutes on my own.
So before we left, we had water in the fridge, like lemon water. I used to make lemon water,
God,
lime
yeah.
water, like strawberries, cucumber, and everything in it, right? Anyway, put some lemon in some water, left it in the fridge for how long did we go? 4 days? 5 days? Something like
No,
that?
we've gone for a week.
Did we go for a week?
Yeah.
Anyway, left it in there, come back. Day that we get back, Josh runs into the flat. We were in a tiny flat at that point, weren't we? Runs into the flat, drinks this water. 20 minutes later, oh no, babe. I think I've come down ill from the plane. I'm in full fucking panic. I'm in full panic. I immediately, jacket, shoes, pants, hood up. I'm going down to the store. Diorite, like the lot. All of the things that you can get. Bleach, hand sanitizer wipes, Clorox wipes. I walked in the house. I could have easily, happily walked in a motherfucking hazmat suit. I hate this
It was
shit,
like
right?
COVID all over again.
Honestly, he's on the phone with his mom, in tears, shitting, sweating, crying, shaking on the toilet. I walk in.
I had the shivers.
I walk in, Lucasade in hand, like this, right?
I was so ill.
And
I was so
We couldn't
fucking
figure out
ill.
what was wrong with him. He gave himself citrus poisoning from drinking the lemon water that had been sat in there for a
I
week.
didn't think it would go off. Genuinely didn't like. 'Cause
I've never thought it would.
I thought it was gonna. You know when you can buy like flavored water from
Yeah.
the shop. I thought they're probably stocked for about a week, right?
Yeah. Oh, way longer than that. You
But that's
dick.
just artificial flavouring. Although they
Oh.
say no artificial flavouring on them, then clearly it's bollocks because everyone would have citrus poisoning.
Yeah, honestly, it was so
Like,
funny.
And I thought because they were in water, like, if you put a lemon in the fridge, it can last longer than a week, right?
Yeah, but I guess it's because it was like cut and like in the water. It like releases
Monsanto didn't
whatever.
help me on that one.
I don't know.
This geoengineered food did not help me on that one, did it? Because it was clearly fucking fake. So
Oh, honestly, I'll never forget that. That was hilarious.
Oh, that was that was not ideal. Oh no, give me the heebies thinking about it. So yeah, that was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's like probably the most ill I've been since like.
I don't know, that thing you had a couple weeks ago was
not
pretty
like
nasty.
fully ill, but like
Yeah.
gut ill, should I say? It was like both ends, like not ideal.
Honestly.
It's a good like one of those times where it's a good job you have a sink next. But the problem is our flat was so small. It was probably like this room times 4, maybe.
Yeah, 3.
Nah, 4 because you had like
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Same room's quite big. So imagine I do one dirty shit and the whole flat stinks. It was bad. It was
Oh,
rough.
to be fair, the other night after the roast, you had a fucking rough tummy as well, didn't you?
Do you know, I can't eat a roast. Every time I eat a roast, I just like, it just enters and drops. Oh,
Enter,
speaking of poo.
exit.
Speaking
Oh
of
my
poo.
God.
No. I got one personal story and something I've seen on Instagram.
I have a personal story about poo as well.
So, a man went in for a colonoscopy.
Oh no.
Right? This is fucking nuts.
Okay.
So he went in for a colonoscopy. They cleared him out. Obviously, when they clear you out, right? They,
Yeah.
Put the camera up, looking around his anus and his bum tube.
Gerbil.
No.
Oh.
There was a living creature in there. Guess what it was? You'll never ever guess what it was. Like, you could
A
have...
slug?
You could have...
A spider?
Closer...
Snail?
Within... It's an insect.
Oh, a cockroach.
A ladybird.
What?
Type it in now. Ladybird in colon. So what they did is they don't know how it happened. To explain it, they believe that
No,
it
I
was
can't.
when they put the... I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how you explain it. How mad's that? Are you looking at the right picture? Show me.
I'm not looking at a picture, I'm just reading it. Oh my god, in 2019, a 59-year-old man had a multicolored Asian-type ladybug. Harmonia exhibitoris.
It was alive walking around. And they tried to explain it off like after they cleaned his colon, he led down.
No
And
way.
you can it's nuts, isn't it? That's crazy, right?
Oh my god.
That's fucking crazy.
I was disgusted. I'm literally looking at like the inside of this guy's fucking asshole colon, but whatever. That's
Yeah.
still wild.
Personal story. Yeah, I couldn't get over that. Like,
No, that's
because
wild.
that's obviously he's not done that for pleasure or anything. That's just a crazy sort of
Coincidence,
like
I
thing that's
guess.
happened. Like, so what they think happened was, as they were clearing him out, when they lay you on your side, right?
Yeah.
So he could have like swallowed a ladybird accidentally. When you lay on your side, the stomach acid goes to one side. Ladybird has dodged the stomach acid when it's gone into the stomach and gone down and survived. But also, when you get a colonoscopy, they put a fluid in you, which
Yeah,
your
they make
stomach
you drink all
acid
the
like
shit and it
waters
throws it all out.
down your
Yeah.
stomach acid, so
Yeah.
it's not as acidic. So yeah, funny.
My friend works in a hospital in the States, and the amount of times she's come and being like, we got one. This guy come in, well, two stories.
Like fucking.
Nah, one couple came in stuck together.
Oh. Not like stuck together from like that TV show we watched where they
Piercings.
were.
His piercing was stuck on her fucking...
Ooh, Prince Albert and clitorius piercing.
No.
Inside?
His piercing was stuck to her IUD string. And they were
He
stuck
should, if
together.
he would have just pulled hard enough, it would have come out. Look, you pulled yours out.
I know, but still not the point. Another time a guy came in and had a broken light bulb in his ass. Anyway.
Sounds like the
Your
best wank
personal
I'll ever
story.
have. So I needed a poo really bad on the way to work the other day. And
Is this going to be a Jamie Booker story?
no, it's not that bad. Anyway, so I'm dying. Like, you know, when you get to the point where you're shivering, hair stand up. I've said it all before on here, but like you're in a really bad way and you're sweating and you're just like, and you're driving, but you're lifting yourself up. So
Yeah.
you're holding the steering wheel, lifting yourself up, tensing your arsehole, driving like, get out my fucking way, get out my fucking way. And I've zoomed into this car park. It must have been like a Sainsbury's or something. Because I always, if I need a poo, I just type in on my Google Maps like superstore and I just go to the closest one. Because most of the time in London and there's like the petrol stations just don't have toilets. Fix that.
Yeah.
Because you'd make your money's worth because I tend to buy something. Because it's rude, isn't it, if you go
Yeah.
in without buying something. Anyway, so I pulled up to this like Sainsbury's or whatever, and I bolted it in there, like ran in there. I'm just like, boom, toilet in, straight in, sit down, like proper blacked up, like destroyed the place, right? So the place is done. It smells. It was loud. It looks like fucking mud pie in that bitch. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, wipe up. And I'm in there for like 10 minutes, right? Bearing in mind. So, people are coming in and out, in and out, in and out. So, finish up, open the door. And I look ahead and in the mirror, I see a woman.
You've already told us this story.
Have I told it on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Anyway, turns out, if you're new to this, she just ruined the story. I see a woman, I walk out, I'm like, oh fuck. Turns out I'd ran into the women's bathroom and I didn't remember telling this. But yeah, that's what happened and it was embarrassing. No one knows yet. But hey, one day if we go viral and
Yeah.
then looking through my back catalogue, a woman will
Yeah.
comment going, hey, I seen you taking a big dump and it stunk.
Yeah. Do you want to hear my poo story for the day?
Go for it.
So this morning, chilling, right, bring my son downstairs, put him in his high chair, giving him his breakfast, morning bot. Dog is crying to go out. So I was like, fuck's sake. Go out, open the back door, let the dog out. Right, she's running around for a few minutes. I see her squatting, does a wee, and then I see her squatting again, she's going for a poo. I was like, brilliant, you ain't gonna shit in the house then, right? No, I was severely mistaken. This dog bolts it up to the back door, crying, squatting, like spinning in circles, still like squatting like she needs a shit. And I'm thinking, has something bit her on the ass or something, right?
You saved the video so we could just post it.
Honestly, I was like, what is happening, right? I was like, what's going on with her? I let her in the house, and she's got shit hanging out of her ass. Okay, that's the long and the short of it. She'd eaten, like, we have a cat tower in the corner for the cats that she loves, and it has like twine like wrapped around the base of it for like scratching posts. Well, come to find out, the little bitch had chewed all of it off last night, and the shit hanging out of her ass was just bits of shit wrapped around, stuck in twine, and the twine had come out of her asshole, but there was still a bit stuck in, but she couldn't push it out because it was too thin.
It's like
And
plugged.
yeah, it literally was, and I couldn't get it out. She was going for me. She was crying, yelping, and I'm just watching this dog run around, squatted like a little fucking alien thing, running across the floor with shit like dragging out of
She's
her
like a
ass.
frog.
Honestly, I was on FaceTime to Josh because I actually don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I'm at work and I
My,
answer this corner. I just see a dog with a rope hanging out of his ass.
I was like, what do I do? So the only thing I could think was to go get the peanut butter out of the cupboard.
I use peanut butter with a dog for different ways.
Oh, shut up, you sicko. I took some of that peanut butter and I just put it on the floor and she was licking it and I had like a paper towel around my hand and I literally saw my opportunity. I grabbed the fucking turd and just yeeted it out of her asshole.
Yeah.
She went, and this whole fucking thing of twine, like 6 inches long,
It wasn't that long. You're such a liar. It was like 2.5 inches long.
No, it wasn't. It was at least 3.5, 4, whatever. Talking about lying about size, Joshua.
No, that
Anyway,
shows...
long story short, pulled a fucking long ass piece of twine out my dog's asshole this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Gave my dog an anal prolapse, right, for one. And
I was
also,
actually worried I was
at
gonna
least
rip
I'm
her
lying
asshole out.
about size being small compared to its actual size as opposed to being
shut
bigger.
up. Here we go.
So, you know, if I ever say I got a 4-inch penis, it's actually 12 inches. If you're
Oh,
listening to her math, do you know what I mean? Like...
Shut up. You're actually so embarrassing.
Why? What's your black hole for this week?
My what?
What do you want to chuck into the abyss for this week?
What do you mean? Oh man, I didn't think about this.
I know, it's off the cuff. We're going.
Bollocks.
We're going.
Don't know. What's yours?
Mine is, now this is going to be controversial. Not because I think loads of people are going to be like disagreeing with the statement, but more disagreeing with the person in the statement. I would love to chuck into the abyss when I'm parked up in London or wherever's really busy and you are in a red light and you have a homeless man coming up to your car with a bit of card knocking on your window asking for change. I would love that to never happen and be in the abyss. Listen, I don't want people to be homeless. I wish I could chuck homelessness in the abyss, but I can't right now. So I'm going for this because there is no feeling of sadness and...
Just pure uselessness, doesn't it? When you're sat there, deadpan, staring in front of you, and you know this guy's freezing his fucking tits off,
Well, yeah, but
hungry
some
out
of
your
them are
window.
lying. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Some of them it is.
Yeah,
a fucking,
but you know that you're just sat there like a twat in your nice warm car, eating your fucking Greggs
and they're staring
sausage
at you.
roll.
Yeah, and they're staring at you like, you got any change? And you're literally looking at them in their eyes. See, I try and avoid that. I just like, they're in my peripheral to my side, like knocking on my window. And I sort of just shake my head. I don't even give them eye contact.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you give them eye contact, they're sucking you in.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't carry change. I have nothing to give them. If I had hot food, I would give it to them. But I'm fat and I eat it as soon as I buy it. It's not like I have it there. I don't take lunch. If I had lunch, you could have the Tupperware box as well. Keep it, my friend. And the fork. Fuck it. They're plastic. I take plastic forks and spoons. But no. So I have nothing. The only thing I won't give them, which I do have, is my can of Monster. Because I need that shit. Otherwise, I'll be asleep right now. So that for me is like, I feel embarrassed because I can't help them. I feel embarrassed for them because it's just like, imagine having to actually do that. And I just feel sorry for them. So I wish that could just fuck off. Because the worst thing is when they do that and the person in front of you and behind you gives them something.
Oh, don't. And then you
feel
look
like
like the one
such a cunt.
asshole. Yeah, you feel like the odd guy out, don't you? Honestly,
Literally,
it's
you
the
feel
worst.
awful. So that's mine. What you got?
Vapes. If they could have never existed, because for the fucking life of me, this little fizzy cherry flavored thing has a chokehold on me tighter than anything.
I never get to choke hold you anymore.
No, you don't.
It's
No.
sad, really. It's a
Honestly,
sad state of affairs.
I can't quit. I have tried so many times. I've listened to the audiobook by that Alan Carr guy, whatever, that everybody says it works.
Being hypnotized.
Yes.
When? I don't remember you.
There was a one on TikTok that I tried to do.
TikTok. Have you tried being hypnotized to quit
I
voting?
literally fell asleep.
I watched
fell
a
asleep.
TikTok.
No, I fell asleep with it under my pillow, listening to it the other night. They said subconsciously it will make you wake up and not want to hit your vape. I woke up and I was like,
that's the best statement I've ever heard in my life. have you been hypnotized? Yeah. When? Watched a video on TikTok. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy?
Like, subconsciously you'll wake up and just not want it anymore. I woke up and that was the best fucking chief on that vape I've ever taken in my life.
You know for a fact you would do spirit readings on TikTok. You would.
Yeah.
You would. You believe in star signs. I honestly. Oh, that's hilarious. Speaking of funny things on TikTok, Lena watches this fucking scatty woman with her crystals. She's got this camera go for all the crystals.
Yeah.
And she panned past it, and there was a fucking cock one on there. And
She's not Scotty. It's this little Asian woman, and bless her, she goes, "Oh, honey, only $6." And I was like, "That's a great fucking deal, right?" And I see this crystal. It was rainbow fluorite, my favorite crystal. In case anybody wants to know, because my birthday's tomorrow, and it was.
Say that again.
It was shaped like a penis, right? And I'm commenting on it. Josh is like half asleep, like, bitch, I want to go fucking 9 nights, right? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, look at this. I was like, watch, I'm gonna get her to go over to it. I want to see it, right? Because I didn't know if I'd
show me the dick.
Yeah. And she goes, "Oh, honey, what one?" And I was like, "The one that looks like," and put like an eggplant emoji. She would not show it on camera. I was fuming. And then she finally panned past it again. And I was like, "That one, the one shaped like a penis." And she goes, "Oh, penis." And that was a highlight of my night a few weeks ago.
Oh, TikTok's funny,
What about
man.
that other guy? What's his name? Oh man, what's he called? Dalton something. Anyway, there's this guy on TikTok. He is funny as fuck, dude. I actually died.
Oh, what, the one where he's doing the rankings?
Oh man, yeah, Dalton Trey. If you haven't seen him, look it up. I mean, trigger warning because there's like gagging and like things in some of them. He goes, it's his accent that makes it fun. That makes it so funny. He goes, right, ranking some gross ass food. Ugh, I fucking hate beans. Fuck ass 7. Oh my god, he actually kills me. Oh, mustard. I fucking hate mustard. I fucking despise that shit. Oh my god, he kills me. I sent it to my sister the other night. It was like midnight. Josh is asleep. I'm in bed watching it on the lowest volume I can, and I'm shaking, giggling with fucking tears in my eyes. Honestly, it kills me.
Question. We have a question from someone on Instagram.
Also, apologize if you can hear our dog crying.
She's being a bitch. Well, I'm trying to train her. She's getting better at train. Like when I'm there, it's just when we're not there, she cries like a little bitch. This is actually quite a serious question. It's not a jokey question, so we've got to switch it up. What's the best way to save for a mortgage when you're renting because it feels impossible?
Oh.
I will answer that simply. It is impossible. Personally, I think since Labour have taken over, they've really fucked us over with pretty much everything. So that's where the impossibility comes from. If you're renting,
I have an answer.
Deposits are ridiculous, and the rent is so expensive now. It's pretty much impossible to save for a deposit. Put on a cheeky acca and hope for the best. Go on then. Or move to America.
OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
Simple.
This question came from.
Now is your time, guys. If whoever put that question in, if you're watching
I think it's not anonymous, so I'm pretty sure she'll be.
No, don't say anything, just in case. You never know. People's financial situations are confidential. Leave that out.
Well, you know who you are.
Yeah.
I appreciate the question. You're a listener.
Watching this,
we love you. Thanks for the question.
Do they have a partner?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You guys, I hope you're watching this together. Right now is your perfect time. Monetize your situation. Oh shit. Sorry guys. I know that just made a wild noise. It's coming up to Halloween, right? You have all the themes coming up. Put that motherfucker in a Scream mask, and you put on a mask.
Considering it's two females as well, that shit would go.
Oh, actually, yeah, even better. Film that shit. Put 2 Scream masks on. Fuck and film it. Put that shit out there. I'll watch it. I'll pay for it.
Yeah, and she'll pay for it with my money.
I only watch lesbian porn anyway. Let's fucking do it. Can I join? I'm bored.
I'm pretty boring.
I'll take 30%, please. No, I'm kidding.
I'm pretty boring.
No,
so.
all jokes aside, the thing is, it does feel impossible. Like, even for us, like, we have kind of, this is going to sound really cunty. Our situation's a little bit different, okay? My parents own a house in Tennessee. It's worth a fair bit. Basically, long story short, when they pop their motherfucking clogs, we basically kind of like have a house.
Yeah.
Besides the point, that's also in America. That's also expensive to move out there. There's a lot of things to take into consideration.
It's not expensive to sell everything and get a flight.
But however, we've kind of accepted that if we're going to be in this country, we're never going to buy a house. Mind you, we did look when we were I looked when we were in the States at houses. And the pricing is a bit more reasonable in certain areas. Obviously, where my parents live.
There's a bigger outlay, though, isn't there?
Yes, and that's what I mean. There's more people in America, so like the population is bigger, but there's also a lot more houses. Like you look in Tennessee, right? And I mean, Texas, I see these videos come up all the time. This is what a $15,000 down deposit will get you in Texas. And it's like a motherfucking mansion.
Yeah, but how much
like,
the monthly payments? Like, this is the thing.
That's
like,
what I mean. You don't know. But you got to think, like, the banks and everything like that. But also, I'm very lucky because my auntie owns a mortgage company.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but even with all of those things there, for us, it's still impossible. And I would say...
And I earn decent money.
I don't make a bad amount of money considering either.
So what I would like to say as well is if like you are struggling to like maybe even look at getting a mortgage or even rent, like
together we're pulling in what, 60?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though. The fact of the matter is, like, if you are listening to this and you're thinking, I can't even like afford to rent a decent property, let alone buy one, it doesn't mean anything negative towards you, because at the end of the day, you're not the only person in that situation. And like I say, I earn good money. Lena earns good money. Together, we earn decent money.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, we only pay for one car, really. Mm-hmm. And we live in a 5-bed, but, like, it's very low price for what we live in.
Yeah. And I'm very lucky that I haven't had to rent anywhere out for work because our top floor is my studio. Yeah. But...
And it's still not easy.
No.
Like, it's far from easy for anyone at the minute. Like,
yeah. So, even the other day we were saying, what the hell are we going to do about Christmas?
So it doesn't, like, everybody's in the same boat, and just try and, like, minimize everything, I guess. That's sort of what we do. There
is like apps out there. It's so frustrating though, because all these really good like budgeting and finance apps like Emma, you have to fucking pay for them, which is frustrating.
Which makes no sense, right? I'm going to pay you to help me save money, but I'm paying you a subscription. That's fucking... They should just, like, run ads on it. I'd rather see ads. If someone, if they're looking to save money, would rather see ads and pay you a fee, and then give them the option to pay to not see the ads, right? Then it's a choice you can make.
Yeah.
Like, because it's... Personally, I think it's fucking disgusting. If you're selling your business to try and help people save money... Like, and minimal amounts of money at that. It's not major amounts. And the minimal amounts you're saving, you're paying these fuckers to help you. Like, no.
It's a hard question to answer, like, completely, because obviously you don't know how much they make. You don't know what their outgoings are. And the thing is, most people right now are not splurging on their outgoings, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like, I just got paid for a wedding. Yeah, I did a little fucking splurge, but... not anything crazy.
I bought on 2 boom arms and a mic.
Yeah, I bought 3 things on Vinted that were like...
a coat to walk the dog with.
I bought like 3 things on Vinted that were like £4 each. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like everything else was like for work, my studio, like I'm about to buy a light for my camera. But they're all things like investment wise. The only thing, you know what is actually a really good idea? If you're a creative person, there are... very good resources like on Etsy, which is just unfortunate because they do take a percentage, but a lot of money is made by like if you're like a creative person, like what my friend does, I was like, she draws the pictures and stuff like that, but there's a lot of money in doing like digital resources like on Etsy. Like I want to do them. It's something that I want to do, something in that sector that's specific to what I do as a photographer. Is you can make like presets. So all I have to do is put a picture in, edit it the way I want, export that preset, and people are selling the presets, and that's a digital product. So when I go on Etsy and I buy a preset, as soon as I've done that, bang, it's already uploaded on Etsy and I get the download. So I've paid £4, £5, whatever, for a pack of 10 presets. That money is already in that person's account. They've already done the work months ago. So there's little things like that. If you look into, I'll find out who you are from Josh and I'll send you some videos on it from TikTok. But there's a lot of things on there that you can sell, like non-tangible items, like online, that helps to put a little bit of money in the bank. The only other thing I can tell you is get good at Forex trading.
Or on a completely different spin, why would you want a mortgage anyway? At the end of the day, when you die, what do you take with you? You take your fucking... I don't know, can you... The only thing is possible that you can take is your memories.
You have to think about the long game. As much as I would love to have a house and be like, wow, this is my house, whatever.
You can't take it with you, bro.
I think, personally... Yes, I fucking love my parents' house. And, like, I'll be honest with you. When my grandma died, I was talking to my auntie, and I was like, look... this is how much I have. I know it's not even close to how much your house is worth. I want to put the down payment on the house, and I would have had a mortgage because I wanted my grandma's house. But I think that was more for memory's sake to keep that in the family.
Like, I live in my grandparents' house. I love that house. It's not a good house, but I fucking love that house because that's where I lived.
And that's what I mean. It's like the memories
home.
and the sentimental thing. Exactly.
You know?
But I think owning a house now is more of like a, this is going to sound really rude. I don't mean it to sound rude. It's more of like a pick-me girl type thing.
Yeah, and also,
do you know what I mean?
No,
like, oh, I own a house. It makes people think they're fucking better than people.
No, the other side of it as well is that if it's for your kids. Like, I get that. If it's for your kids, fine. But at the same time, like, you can't take it with you. You can't take your money with you. You can't take your car with you. You can't take anything with you. So, fucking just think, like, enjoy life before thinking about shit like that.
You can always make more money. You can't make more time, and you can't make more memories. And the thing is, as well, even when you have kids, if you want that, like, steady place to have, you know, a mortgage or, you know, whatever you want that, things change in life. You change as a person, relationships change, people change, and you change. I'm so sorry about her. She's really pissing me off. What was I saying? People change, and like the things that you want and the things that you enjoy change. So I just personally think, like, when we moved into our flat in Newbury, we fucking loved it, right?
Yeah,
it was
cool.
sick for the kind of couple we were at that time, right? So like when we moved into our house in Newbury, we loved it. It was perfect for the kind of couple that we were at that time, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. We were newly together. We were a bit younger. We didn't really have any like responsibilities. Like, yeah, we had 2 cats, but they just like do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, they couldn't. They were indoor cats.
That's
but
what I
see what
mean.
you're saying. Yeah.
But like, that was fine for us at that time. And then we decided to have Grayson, so we moved into another flat that was a bit bigger. Right, it was a 3-bed. And then I started my company. Gray was born. He started to get a little bit older, started walking, and we needed something completely different. We needed a backyard. We wanted a dog. I wanted a dog. Big mistake, by the way, clearly. So yeah, like the things changed. Then we ended up looking for where we are now. And I also wanted a studio, because my business started to go a lot further than I thought it would. So like where I'm going with that is if we say we'd bought a house straight out, before we had Grayson, or even after we had him, we would have been stuck there.
Yeah.
Not stuck there, but you don't have any room necessarily for growth, for change,
unless you're gonna afford like an extension or something.
That's what I mean. But like even like a new like scenery, like, do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that you have to consider in that sense as well.
So yeah, basically with that is like, as what I think what Lena's trying to say is like, when life changes, your surroundings need to change as well. So like, if we would have like, for an example, that flat we first saw, we loved it. We would have bought that if we had the money. We would have bought something like that
at that point in our life. Yes.
But what you got to take into consideration as well is everything that we've done has been Lena's choice. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, sure. Go on then.
Right, listen to this. So even the previous flat we were in, which turned out to be decent for what it was, if we didn't have Gray, it would have been that. Not that I'm looking at having Grayson negatively, but it would have been perfect. We could have still been there now.
Yeah, but the only reason we moved there was because we had him.
Yeah, and we had the dog, which we had to get out of there with, which is the pauses in this episode have been provided by the dog. Again, that Lena wanted. Just so everyone get that out there.
She's not the one I wanted. You picked her out.
Actually, Grayson picked her out?
No. Don't care.
You're a freaking liar.
Don't care. He didn't know.
We put 2 dogs in front of him and he chose that one.
Whatever. The one that I wanted was the calm one that was just laid there, doing nothing,
that
chilling.
That one is probably dead.
It would have been fucking perfect then, wouldn't it?
So yeah, that's where we are with regards to housing and mortgages. But personally, I don't ever want a mortgage. Like this government has fucked us and will continue to fuck us for a good few years. And for that amount of time, hopefully by then I'm not in this country anymore. So there we go.
The way I think about a mortgage is like the same way, like you might as well just have a fucking credit card maxed out at $250 over your head for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but the problem is it depends what you're spending on the credit card. Because
I know.
Like the house is a house, you know.
I know that, but I personally see it as like it just will. To me personally, I feel like it would be like just this looming debt over me.
And here's another positive about renting as well. All the repairs are free. You don't pay for them. Your boiler goes, that's the landlord's problem, not yours.
Yeah.
You own a house and the boiler goes, you got to go pay thousands for a boiler. Like, they're the little things that, like, you don't actually think about until you buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, I was nearly there once. I nearly bought a house.
Fucking, do you guys have HOA fees here? Or is that basically your council tax?
What would be?
Like housing association. Like
So-
in America, if you live in certain neighborhoods, like obviously you have to pay your property tax, your fucking rent, your mortgage, water bills, whatever, all that kind of shit. But you also have in certain neighborhoods like HOA fees, which is like people who run the HOA. So like
You have, like, postal... You have to pay stamp duty
yeah.
on houses, which is thousands of pounds as well.
No, I don't mean that. HOA is like people like will that are like in charge of the neighborhoods will say you have to have a gardener that makes sure that your house is in pristine. It has to match the aesthetic. You have to do this.
Oh, no,
And, like,
you might have it in some posh estates here, but I don't know. Like,
similar thing to
where,
that.
like, footballers and that live, maybe, but they pay for, like, private security and that anyway, so it don't really matter. So, yeah, mortgage chat over. I'll probably never own a house, especially, well, not in England at all. It won't happen. I would rather
I don't think it's worth it here.
I'd rather own a new PC.
I don't think the houses are that great here.
No, they're not. They're shit. But then at least in here, we don't get attacked by hurricanes or tornadoes.
If I'm saving up like 15 grand for anything, telling you one thing. It's not going to be a motherfucking car. Exactly that. It's titties. It's not going to be a fucking car, and it's not going to be a house. It might be some camera stuff or like work stuff, you know,
the
if I was
titties
feeling
would eventually pay for themselves.
But the titties, coming back around to OnlyFans, you see? I'm fucking full circle in this motherfucker.
No, but that's not wrong. You could do OnlyFans. Bring some more money in. Do me a favour.
Yes, wear a mask. Nobody will ever know it's you.
Yeah, I can't because my tattoos.
Yeah.
I can't.
And I can't because of mine.
Yeah.
Not many people
tattoos,
have a 1975 quote on their right hip.
Thank the Lord, not many people have that because it's fucking weird.
Guess what? The girl you're with does, and I know you fucking hate it.
Yeah,
I've got 2 tattoos of them actually.
It's cute, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Fucking.
It's one of them.
They're
right
a joke. They are actually a joke.
Oh, shut up.
Speaking of buying a house and a shit house, imagine owning a house in Florida right now.
Oh, don't. Honestly,
so we stayed up to watch this shit.
You didn't stay up. You fucking lying piece of shit.
I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch it.
Oh, shut up. You're so full of shit. You woke up to go 10. To work. Oh, there goes 10.
Stayed up till 10.
I was up until like 1. Fell asleep. Woke up at 2:30 and was like, I gotta look. I went on TikTok and they're like, oh yeah, it's hitting right now. And it had gone down to a category 3. Mind you, still catastrophic, still devastating. I get it. But I was like...
It's not what you expect, is it?
Fear-mongering.
Yeah, like...
You know what?
Unfortunately, with stuff like that, because it's such a big natural disaster, it's you want to see it. Like
it's awful as it sounds.
Yeah, it's a really weird feeling because you hate what's going on, but you really want to see it. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's like when you drive past a car accident and you're like, is there a dead body?
Yeah. Or if somebody sends you a beheading video, you watch it.
Yeah, it's
like
fucked up,
you can't not watch it. Human nature, the intrigue makes you want to watch it. But yeah, that was pretty fucking like, because I watched, so when I woke up this morning, I thought I was watching a live video, but I resumed from last night. It must have been where you were watching it too, because it was the same people, and there was like big tornadoes and shit. They look nuts.
Yeah,
there was some fuck off tornadoes. Yeah, but it is the damage is pretty bad. Like still.
Yeah, but it's not Katrina level.
No.
Which is they were saying it was going to be worse than Katrina. So I was like, this is like a once in a lifetime thing, and like people are now have the ability to live stream it, which is like wasn't a thing years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy because like I was looking at it like. Well, my mind was going everywhere. I was like, fuck me, with all these once in a lifetime things. We've had COVID, we've got like fucking Tesla cars, we've got this fucking hurricane. Like, I was thinking of all this shit, and I was like, our generation has seen it all. Like 9/11, like all this shit. Like, we've seen everything. Yeah. Like, just to top it off, let's just give you the worst storm in history. Like, it's fucked.
I know.
It's actually crazy.
Well, the Sahara Desert is flooded right now.
That's nuts.
But
how does that even happen?
Fucking figure that one out.
How do you flood sand? Does it not like go down? Like,
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Like, have you seen the pictures?
Nah.
It's nutty. I've never seen anything like it. I'll show you.
Pull them up.
And obviously about like the flash floods and the mudslides and stuff in North Carolina. Devastating. I saw a video the other day. This woman was stood on her porch. Their motherfucking neighbor's house just fucking washed right past them. This
GTA
bitch is
shit.
Recording it like this in the house. There goes the house.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I was like, no.
That's why you got to choose wisely in America where you live. Like Florida's like amazing, right? It's
I
like,
would never fucking live there. The goddamn bugs.
The gators.
That motherfucker on Instagram is nuts. I'm out here in Florida Everglades. I got a little swamp puppy. It's a fucking like 12-foot crocodile. You're asking for death.
He's like poking snakes on the nose.
He's like, this is one of the most poisonous snakes. Boop. Fucking freak.
Fucking funny, man. I love social media. I hate it. And
Parts
love
of
it
the
at same
Sahara
time.
Desert's flooded for the first time in over 50 years. Figure that one out.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That's nutty, isn't it? Look
actually
at that.
fucked. Google just flooded Sahara Desert. That's actually because it's so hot there. You'd think it would just evaporate the water straight up, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Honestly,
that's fucked up.
It's weird, honestly. And people are like, the government's controlling the weather. Oh, fuck
HARP
off.
weather manipulation episode coming soon. FYI.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, you won't be in on that one. You'll be looking after the fucking mutt downstairs.
Yeah, shut up.
So, speaking of episodes and what we plan to talk about, obviously, as this today is today is Mental Health Awareness.
Today is World Mental Health Awareness Day. Now, before we get into this, trigger warning, right? Because I have some stories about this. So if this isn't something that you want to listen to, if this is like uncomfortable for you talking about mental health, suicide, self-harm,
turn off now, but like and share. Basically. Before we get into this, actually, a little bit of housekeeping. So this is where I struggle, because my knowledge of mental health is, I have the knowledge, I just don't have the understanding.
He's never struggled with mental health. He's very lucky.
Apparently, I've never struggled with mental health, but you've never been in a COD lobby, so grow up, or lost on FIFA Ultimate Team when you're in the last round of Division Rivals. So let's not talk about that. But what I would like to say is, it's probably down to like maybe like a bit of tism, bit of spasm, that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I struggle with that sort of thing, and I think what it is, like a struggle of understanding.
Because you've never really felt like that either.
And I think now what it is as well is, I think like, I'm so happy-go-lucky, I struggle to see negative sometimes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But before we get into that, let's take a positive note. As you all know, we are on all platforms, so please go on there, like, share, subscribe on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have T-shirts, we have jumpers, we have Podbean. We've got Discord, so if you want to jump in the Discord, it is on the TikTok bio. I'm going to put it on all the other bios and put it on my link tree as well. Basically, so there's 6 people in there and we chat and it's cool. So yeah, jump in, and I always ask for weekly questions. So boom. Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
But sorry, yeah, this is my lack of understanding, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just cuts right in. So as I was saying, trigger warning for anything mental health, self-harm, suicide, domestic abuse, anything along those lines that could possibly make somebody uncomfortable is probably going to be spoken about at one time or another today. Before we start really talking about it, I struggle with a long history of mental health. There is help out there. The Samaritans run a free 24/7 helpline for anybody struggling to cope or in distress. Listening ear, emotional support, whether you feel anxious, depressed, suicidal, anything. Samaritans.org, or their phone number is free, is 116123. There are other resources that you can go to online. I know the NHS have like a helpline as well, which isn't always great, which I will get to. That's another thing in this country that they need to fix. But yeah, and this isn't just for women, this is men as well, because I feel like that gets a blind
serious,
eye.
important part as well.
That gets a blind eye turned to it a lot, and that's something that I find very hard to deal with. For
me, the like important side of this, like, is like, not that I'm focusing solely on men, but like on a man's side of it, is so many men feel like talking is being a pussy and being a bitch, and other men don't appreciate when men want to talk. So like, I've got even like now, like, I'm not gonna mention names, but I've got a friend who like literally like made a TikTok the other day about like how like down they were and stuff.
Let's say he's done. Like, if it weren't for his kids, he'd be gone.
Yeah, and like, I don't know him. I met him through gaming, so I don't actually know him in real life. But like, reaching out to him, like, he read the message, he didn't reply, which is fine. Like, at least they know. So like, if you are a man and you think your friend's struggling, just ask him, friend, like, how are you? Like, I do it all the time. Like, I am not ashamed. Like, I've got a friend, Liam Paul. I've spoken about him on a few times on this podcast, and if he seems upset or if I'm upset, like, I will message him being like, yo man, on a level, like, are you good? and it only takes 10 seconds to write that message, like literally. And he's the same with me. Like, it literally takes 5 to 10 seconds to possibly save someone's life. Like,
Yep.
I've got
I've got a story about that.
this is what I literally just said. I've got a friend, but I had a friend who's like killed himself, and no one knew. Like, you would never ever have known. Like, never in a million years would you have known. And it's so fucking crazy, because if you would have taken on a cue about that or something, and you could have asked them, maybe you could have like saved them. But at the same time, it's not just down to men to ask you how you are. You've got to be open enough to also speak to men and admit that you're feeling that way.
That's one of the biggest things about having a son that worried me, if I'm being completely honest. Like, when I found out I was devastated. I'm not going to lie. I had major, speaking of mental health, and that is such a common one, I definitely had gender disappointment, 100%. And I will admit that. And, oh yeah, 100%.
Sure.
When Grayson was a few days old, I literally was sat there for a week crying. I couldn't stop crying for no reason, just because he was growing up, whatever. It was just weird. Like, your hormones do crazy things. But I definitely had gender disappointment. So for all the moms, or pregnant mamas, or anything, if you're out there and you're listening, it's normal to feel like that. I had my heart set on the fact that I wanted a girl, and that also probably ties into like my childhood. Like, I didn't know my biological mom, so there's a whole lot of abandonment issues there that have stayed with me through my life. So I don't know if it was like a selfish reason why I wanted a girl, but I was dead set in my head and my heart that I was having a girl. And that balloon popped blue, and I was happy in the moment, like put on a brave face for everybody. But the next day, Josh went back to work, and I sat there and I cried. And I called my friend Shannon. She has 4 kids now. And she had a girl
first. You want to have mental health issues, have 4 kids.
No, she had a girl first, and then had a boy, and then she had 2 little girls after that. And when I called her, I said, Shannon, you're going to think I'm crazy. I had the phone like tilted away from me. My Shannon.
She's like, no, she's got girl, boy.
Girl, boy, girl, girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Autumn,
and then Darius, and then Taylor, and then Everly.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I thought there was 2 boys and the girl. 2 girls.
Anyways, I had my phone tilted away because I didn't want her to see me, because I was full on fucking ugly crying, right? And I was like, did you want a girl when you had your first? And she was like, no. And I said, how did you come to terms with that, Jimmy? Because she wanted a boy first. I said, how did you deal with that? And she goes, you know what? The easiest thing to do, pick their name out and start decorating their bedroom. And you just have to kind of force yourself to come to terms with it. And within a week, I'd accepted it. And now I wouldn't change it for the world, but I was so scared to have a boy because I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to relate to him. There's no way I'm going to be able to bond with him, because I don't know how to do that. I've been, besides with Josh, in every relationship I've been with has been quite fucking toxic, like abusive, manipulative, narcissistic. Like,
Lena does throw tablets, so
shut up. I do have like
a temper, yes,
a bad history with relationships and things like that, and with men. So I was just like, how am I ever gonna like relate to him, And then I started thinking, oh my god, when he grows up, if he's getting bullied in school, he's not gonna come home and tell me. Like, boys don't talk about their feelings. But that is something as a mom that I'm going to instill in him from a very, very young age, that I want him to know that if he doesn't feel safe talking to anybody else at school, his teachers, his friends, whatever, he always needs to know that he can talk to me and you. But anyway, that's besides the point. I was gonna say I had a story about something earlier and I can't remember what it is now. What were we talking about?
Mental health. And I was saying that like men should like talk and stuff, and I had a friend who
No, I don't remember now. It'll come back to me.
himself.
Sorry, guys.
But like, it's just the biggest thing for me is like knowing that like predominant males who kill themselves. My friend wasn't in the army, but like predominantly it's like military men and stuff like that who suffer with like PTSD and all that sort of thing. And because they're in the army, they're seen as like these strong, like buff, like,
can't cry, can't show emotion.
Like you can't do any of that shit. So it makes them also have to put the facade up as well.
100%.
Which like the military. So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy had severe PTSD, and the military don't really do much for that. They didn't. I don't know if they do now. But
story about that as well. I remember my other story now.
At that point, like he went to someone with PTSD and they said, oh no, you've just got like anxiety or something, and like sent him away, discharged him, and for years he was like an alcoholic, drug addict, beating people up, hitting his wife, all this sort of shit. And then it's not till he's seen like an actual counselor, and they were like, "No, you have PTSD." Bearing in mind he was in like the deep military,
Yeah.
like CIA, like
Yeah.
SEAL sort of shit.
Yeah.
Like he was like,
he's seen some shit.
yeah, he was a SEAL. Well, he was like in Afghan, like
Yeah.
Bin Laden sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like he shot fucking Muslim men in the Taliban or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know how does it's just Taliban, right? Yeah. Sorry, excuse that. But he would like go in there, shoot them, and their wife would run at them, and he'd have to shoot their wife, and then he'd have to like pick up the kid and act like he was a savior, although he's just like killed their parents and
Yeah.
all this, and that shit will fuck you up. And like whether you go to war and you kill people or you don't, it's very rare you kill people. This guy'd been on like in the military for 18 years and been touring constantly because
Yeah.
every like the SEALs were in everything. He only killed 11 people.
Yeah.
Like they don't kill all that, so it's not the killing. It's sometimes the training, the banter they have, all of this like braggadocious. Is that a word? I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm going to use it anyway. The braggadocious sort of stuff that they like talk about and how they like treat women and each other. Like it instills this sort of dominant man side, so they just don't feel like they can safely talk, which isn't the case at all.
Well, like for me, in my previous marriage, it wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really want to get too much into that because it's not a nice thing to talk about. For lack of better terms, and I don't want to bring it back to the forefront of my head because then I start having dreams about it, and I don't like that. So I try to avoid speaking about the specifics in it, but it wasn't good, for lack of better terms, right? He was in the military here. He was in the Royal Navy. And he tried so hard to fix all the problems. He's like, "Oh, you're just depressed. You're this, you're that." I'm like, "Yeah, but do you know why I'm depressed? You know why I feel like that?" Like, it was because of how he was treating me. Like, and like one of my best friends, Karis, like we met when him and I had very first gotten married and when I moved over here and things. And she saw all of it. She heard all of it. She witnessed all of it. She fucking watched it happen at work multiple times. Like how abusive he was, like putting his hands on me, the things he said to me, like it was not good. So he went to work one day after he found out that I was planning to leave and, told his work that he needed to take time off because I was gonna kill myself.
Right.
So he could keep tabs on me. Made it even worse, right? So he called the military and he said to them, right, you have like help for heroes, like she's my wife, is she entitled to that? And they said yes. So I go in and I start talking about all these things. Mind you, I'm leaving the details about what's going on with him, like the deep ones, like out. And I'm obviously talking about like my childhood and they're like, we can't help you. Like, we can't help you within, like, what's offered to you.
Maybe they're not trained enough. Maybe it's, like, a lack of, like,
And
training
then-
and things.
and then-
I don't know.
One night, I remember I was sat there, and I was done, you guys. Like, I was so far past done. Like, I couldn't go home. My family weren't speaking to me. I had hardly any friends here. You know, Karis would have helped me, but she was living in a uni flat, so there was nothing that she could do. So I rang 111, and I said, look, this is where I am at right now. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going to do. And they were like, have you tried having a bath or a cup of tea? And I was like, I'm about to take my motherfucking toaster in the bath with me. That's what I'm telling you. Like, I'm actually sick of it. Like, that wasn't what I was going to do. But have a cup of tea in a bath. Would you not think I've tried that, you silly twats? Like, sometimes there's no help, and sometimes you don't even need to speak to a professional. You just need to feel like you can speak to somebody who gets it. So whether you know me or not, like, you can always find me through one of Josh's pages. My messages are always open. There is no judgment.
My messages are your messages as well. So, like,
Yeah.
anyone who messages this podcast, like, if it's something I can't, like, talk about, I will talk to Lena about it and get the correct response. And actually thinking about it, I despise the fact that you said I don't care about mental health, because
I'm not saying that you don't care. I'm saying you've never struggled with it, so you struggle to understand it.
This is the type of person I am. The other day, I seen someone on Facebook. They were going for a breakup. Don't know the girl very well. I knew her fella quite well. They're going for a breakup, and I made the assumption that it was an abusive breakup because I knew
What he was like.
the couple.
Well,
Not so
yeah.
much. I from the statuses, from the how I knew this person, I made an assumption, and it
Yeah.
was the right assumption, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I just messaged saying, "Hey, I fell out with them years ago. I'd
Yeah.
not spoke to them for years. But I made the assumption I just literally put a message in saying, hey, you don't need to respond to this. You don't need to reply for this. You may think I'm overstepping the mark messaging
Yeah.
you, but I hope you're okay. If you ever need anything, holler at me. Or if if there's anything else, my partner
Yeah.
is very in tune with all this sort of stuff. So if you want to chat, let me know and I can get you in contact and all this sort of stuff. And I literally just said, I hope you're well. I hope the kids are well. If you need anything, holler. But I know you've obviously gone for a breakup because I can see it on Facebook. And just know that you're doing the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's the other thing that I want to put out there as well is like, you have to. Like, if you see something that you kind of, you almost have to say something because, like you said earlier, you never know what that person's dealing with. And speaking of domestic abuse, if you're a woman or a man watching this, listening to this in any way, and you're struggling or in a situation like that, you can happily send either one of us a message. We'll come up with
Just
like
send
a safe
an
word.
emoji banana.
Yeah,
Or just send
send a
the word
banana
bananas.
emoji if
That's
you
my
want
safe
to.
word, by the way, when I went on our first
Because
date.
I've been through exactly what you're going through. I know where you're at. I know that you feel it's like impossible to get out of, but it is. And I can tell you how I did it in the safest way possible. And we would do anything to help anybody. Wouldn't we?
Genuinely, I
Honestly,
got a
we
room.
really would. I was just
I got
going
a
to say
room.
that. But funnily enough, speaking of like, you never know if you're going to help somebody. So this is like not off topic, but a little bit off topic, but still relates. I read something in a forum the other day, a photography forum, right? This woman's a wedding photographer. She did this couple's engagement shoot, and she said the whole time, like, she obviously called them. They called her saying they were going to be a little bit late. The husband was screaming in the car, right? Like, all these profanities, just being like a right, like, knob, right?
Proper cunt.
They got there. The girl looked like she'd been crying. Mind you, this was their engagement shoot, so before their wedding. And this photographer stood there. She's fixing her makeup in the car, and he goes, "Oh God, that's enough makeup. It's gonna be. I hope you brought your flash. It's gonna be fucking dark by the time she's finished slapping all that shit on her face. Whatever." Making all these comments, making comments through the whole shoot. And apparently, the woman just looked extremely uncomfortable, right? And us women, like, we pick up on things
There's
like
also
that.
a vibe. Like, I feel
Exactly.
like with people, there's a vibe. So, like, in fact, you finish, then I'll say what I got to say.
But anyway, she went home and started editing the pictures, and she goes, you could even like read it through the pictures that something was just off, right? And so she messaged this girl and said to her, "Hey, I'd like to meet up with you for a coffee next week. To finalize the details about me taking the pictures at your wedding." And she goes, okay, let's meet here this time, whatever, blah, 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 right? She gets there and she said, "I don't need to talk to you about your wedding. I need to know if you're safe." And this woman said no. And this photographer got her out of her situation and called off the wedding, and she very well could have saved her life.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy to me.
That's, like, unbelievable. Is genuinely, but as well with something like that is don't ever feel bad for saying something, because as soon as you told me that story, the first thing I said is,
What if they were wrong?
what I know I said was, because me and Lena, we banter each other all the time. We've done some stupid shit. Like, we've taken the piss of things we shouldn't have taken the piss out of. We've done silly shit.
But even like to each other, like we did a social experiment one day coming out of Sainsbury's.
Yeah, so we come out of Sainsbury's. I was actually going to say that. So we come out of Sainsbury's one day, and we were like,
I was pregnant.
I wonder what would happen if. And there was some shopping bags. They were light as fuck. There was nothing in them, basically. But what I said is, there's a group of teenage lads. Well, they weren't like, when I say teenage, I mean late teens, 18, 19.
19, 20s,
They were buying
yeah.
alcohol. And we were walking out, and I said, right, let's try this. So I gave her the bags, and I said to her, no, in a stern voice. I was like, no, you can fucking carry these bags. And I just wanted to see if anyone would say anything.
Mind you, I was like 6 months pregnant.
She was visibly pregnant.
Yeah.
And we played it off, and not one person said a thing.
They didn't even bat a fucking eyelid.
Not like, and that, the normalization of that is fucking disgusting. I think it's changed now a bit, like over the few years.
Yeah. Well, like what happened tonight with you.
Well, I was going to get to that as well. So with regards to that as well, like if you see something in the street, or you're never wrong, because we banter each other so bad. Like, for an example, we had a photo shoot done, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure, if it came up, I would have made a joke or said, if Lena was still doing her makeup, bloody hell, how long you got? Because we'll be here till tomorrow if she's doing her makeup. And if someone said to Lena then, is everything okay? There's a chance We wouldn't have been offended, is what I'm trying to say. Is
Yeah, exactly
I
that.
would not have been offended. She would not have been offended because it's a good deed.
But the amount of times I wish somebody would have asked me that when they saw me out in public with my ex-husband, seeing what was going on, especially in certain places, very public places, when he was doing some of the things he was doing.
Yeah.
And everyone was watching, and I'm stood there crying, and they're watching him do this to me and speak to me like this, and nobody's saying anything. I'm like, can somebody just fucking help me?
Yeah.
Like anybody. I was literally begging for even a stranger to come up to me, even in front of him at that point, and just say, "Are you okay?" Because I literally would have said no.
Yeah.
To get him to back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And this is the thing. You could be wrong, but the chance is worth taking.
Exactly.
Like, the chance is worth taking.
100%.
And like, so another thing as well was like mental health and all of this can start at any age. Like, kids are primed to it now, and that comes down
Yes.
to social media, the school system, bullying, all of this sort of stuff. It all comes down to that. You think if you're an adult and you're looking on social media and you see fucking Kim Kardashian, or I see fucking Chris Hemsworth or something, and I go, oh shit, my body isn't like that, I'm sad about that. Oh shit, my lifestyle isn't like that, I'm sad about that. And it could spiral you
dysmorphia.
into depression.
100%.
Like, I feel like I've had been like that a few times. And then what you do is you get so down, and then you don't act on it, because that's where I'm at the moment. I'm in a spiral where I'm like, right, I'm putting on weight, but the fact I'm putting on weight makes me so sad. I don't want to go to the gym, but I know if I go to the gym I'll feel better, but I can't go to the gym because I feel sad about it. But the fact of the matter is, these sort of triggers can happen at any age. So if you call a young girl fat, like let's say you're a parent and your kid's eating too much food and you're like, oh, what are you doing, fatty? Just think, because that can affect them. For an example, I was walking the dog earlier tonight, and I walked past a park, and there's a girl, she must have been about 11, 12. The only reason I know that is because I got a younger sister, and she's in school uniform, I think, or some sort of uniform. She's walking by, she's crying and shouting at a group of 8 lads, and they must have been about 40. They were visibly older. And she's shouting, oh, fuck off. But they're giving her the shit. So they're shouting, oh, fuck off, you stupid slag. Go fucking put some gloves on your fat fingers and all this shit. So in that situation, as a person, don't walk by, because you never know, that girl could go home and fucking self-harm. I stopped. I said to the lads, oi, shut the fuck up. There's 8 lads here picking on a fucking girl. Sort your shit out and fuck off, basically. I didn't swear. I said it in a way better manner than that. And all the lads started mouthing off as they do. And there was this one little fucking dickhead who was giving more mouth than anyone else. So what I did is I made sure I walked around the block again. Because what I wanted to do is see if they shouted again. Because I thought as I walked off, it's all good shouting at them, but you're not teaching them anything, right? So I walked back around. And as I walked back around, they were leaving the skate park. And they were leaving the skate park. And the gobby one gobbed off and rode off on his bike on his own. But a few of them stayed. And I noticed they were muttering. I said, oh, lads, how you doing? And they were like, oh, basically, oh shit, it's him. And I said, can I borrow you for a second? And when they come over, I pointed out, I said, the reason I said something is because there was many of you saying stuff. You were putting a young girl down because of the way she looks and all of this sort of stuff. And I said, you've got to understand, there's people at that age group who are fucking cutting their wrists, killing themselves because of shit you're saying. When you're my age and you're a parent or you have a child, you will understand why I'm saying something. And after a 5-minute conversation, they understood exactly what I was saying. Listen, they'll go and do it again because they're kids, but hopefully a little bit of it sticks in their mind, right?
Yeah.
But by the end of that, they left saying, oh, mate, no, thanks for that. Have a good night. And I was like, you have a good night as well. Da da da. Just be a positive influence as well, right? Because it can. Mental health doesn't start and finish at a certain age, with a certain job, with a certain way someone looks. It can literally, it could be me right now. This isn't a cry for help, by the way, but it could be me right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially like in relationships, I feel like a lot of people get to a point where, God, we went through it a few months ago. We literally felt like fucking roommates.
Yeah.
It was like horrible. I'm sorry, Josh. I love you, but I was fucking sick of you. And I like, especially like moms, if you've just had a baby or have kids, I just want you to know, if you feel like shit, that's normal. Apparently your hormones or anything, like your complete, like everything in your body changes when you have a baby, right? So dads, be gentle with your partners, with the mothers of your kids, because
And you will feel as the male part of this, and I'm not saying it's your fault.
You'll feel like you're doing everything wrong.
You feel like you do, and because you love this person, you've been together so long, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the fact that your hormones had changed so much, I could feel the fact that something had changed, which then negatively impacted me.
Yeah.
Which then negatively impacted on how we were together.
Yeah.
Which then it's just a negative against each other.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where we had to have a conversation.
We were about to split up.
You think that you'd never leave me? I'm too good. But like the fact, look, I've got a successful podcast here.
Yeah.
No, but you do get to a point where we literally had to sit down and have a conversation. Of course we did, because that's what adults do. But just understand, like, just talk about it. You've got, like, you can't just push it under the rug either. You've got to talk about things. And also, this is like gonna sound like such a man's point of view, but at that point we weren't having sex, and that changes everything. No,
Okay.
No.
Yes,
no.
okay.
No, don't.
I get it. I know.
It's a release for everybody.
Well, jerk off then. I don't know what to tell you. Moms, if you're listening to this, don't worry if you feel like shit. It's normal. Your bodies don't go back to normal for up to 6 years after you've had a baby. Postpartum depression is normal. It's natural. Don't feel pressured to have sex or do anything you don't want to do just because your husband or your boyfriend or your baby daddy says that he feels like shit without it.
I've never said I felt like
No.
shit, but I'm saying
But
it
your
can cause
argument is
friction
like
in a relationship.
men need sex to feel love. Women need love to have sex.
Yeah, exactly.
You've always said that.
I have said that.
And that's
it's-
true. But
it's
like my mama
such
says,
opposites.
for the men out there, foreplay starts at 7 a.m., honey.
And I'm at work from 5:30 till God knows what time, so I can't start it then. No, but it's serious because
No, you just have to learn to be gentle with people. And I think social media...
not when it comes to sex.
Shut
So.
up. Stop making jokes, Josh, because this is actually really serious.
Sorry.
Social media's
When
played a
it
huge
comes to this
part.
podcast with full
It
seriousness.
doesn't matter.
Right,
Social
sorry.
media's played a huge part in this. I call it Love Island syndrome.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I feel like men are definitely affected by this as well.
I am. No doubt.
That's what I mean.
No doubt.
And
no
I feel
doubt.
like they don't want to admit that because men aren't seen as like vain. I guess like us women are seen as vain. Like last week, if you're actually watching this, you'll see I look very different. I didn't put my fucking fake hair in today. Why? Didn't give a shit.
She stopped making the effort with me.
Yeah, no. There's so many little things, like, honestly, especially, like, for women, like, filler, extensions, lashes, nails, makeup, all of it. Like, since I've had my son, since I've had Gray, I've, like, I don't want to say I've let myself go, because that's putting a negative spin on it, but I don't put the effort in like I used to.
Naturalized.
Yeah.
But
And
in all
that's
fairness,
fine.
I always say you look pretty.
Yeah, but that's also fine. So don't feel like you're less than because you don't look like everybody else.
You saying this, but earlier you were talking about getting fake titties, so make up your mind, bitch.
That's different.
Now that's different, right?
Yeah.
Caught you in the crosshairs.
Yeah. No, but that's a perfect example. So caught up in the idea of that that like you don't even think about that being a part of like body dysmorphia. Things are so normalized around mental health now, like, oh, well, you know, grow up or just, you know, whatever. But like I see videos on TikTok all the time of people putting something up. Like there was a poem up the other day. It was something that a mom wrote to her son that had killed himself, and it was like just a long thing that she'd written out, and quite a few people had actually commented on it and been like, I feel like I needed to see this tonight. This is my sign to stay. And the amount of people coming together, that's the thing. Social media can be so fucking damning and so damaging, but in the right way, it can bring so many people together. Because there was a girl that commented on it, and in her bio, it said she was 14 years old. That makes me physically fucking sick to think about. That's Josie's age. Do you know what I mean? That makes me it actually chokes me up just thinking about the comments that were under there from these young kids that are dealing with it and seeing these things like, oh, this was my sign to stay. And people are like, oh, well, I have nobody to talk to. And random people saying, you can message me.
Do you know what it is? All right. This is I'm not backing it at all, but this is the fact is social media has played a part, but it does have a positive spin as well. The reason the younger kids are feeling it is because their parents didn't grow up in the social media age, and they come from an age where it wasn't as open, available, and spoken about. I.e., mental health.
Oh, my mom used to say it to me all the time. Oh, well, things weren't like that when I was in school. I was like, bitch, go to my school as me. Freaky Friday with me right motherfucking now, and go to my high school for one day as me and tell me you don't come home and want to just fucking
Yeah, but American school systems are
full
way
Britney
different.
2000. Shave your fucking head and just go off the rails.
Also, though, on the complete opposite scale as well, and I think you can attend to this. I think if you have something going on and you go to the doctors and they tell you it's because you're depressed, that could also be incorrect.
Happened to me a few weeks ago.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. I literally went, and since I've had my son, I know it's first world problems. I've really struggled to put weight on, which has made me, unfortunately, upset, sad. I hate the way my body looks. I'm not going to lie. TMI right here. Josh was in here playing games a few weeks ago. Got out of the shower. Was like, oh, I'm going to go upstairs, take a little fucking freaky deaky pic right in the mirror. Took a picture. Saw my titties that aren't there anymore. And immediately delete, gone, wipe, fucking depressed.
And then spoke to me about a tit job.
Yeah, pretty much. But honestly, the body dysmorphia is fucking unreal. And I went to the doctors and they were like, oh, well, you know, you can try these protein shakes, but, you know, your BMI is too low and you're actually 0.4 away on the BMI scale of being like anorexic, where we need to like fucking section you. That made me feel like fucking shit. Not only as a human being or as a woman, but as a mom. Do you know what I mean? Like telling me that when I'm like, I have somebody else who's like depending on me in a way, it made me feel like shit. And she goes, you know, maybe you need to speak to somebody. And I'm like, I don't personally think I'm depressed. I think I'm stressed, but that's another thing that needs to be spoken about. Stress is so scary. Like my hair fucking fell out and everything, didn't it? It can
cause so many things.
So many things.
But like the thing with like them saying that you had depression,
automatically put in my head that it was us.
Exactly what I'm getting at. So if you're not feeling it, and it's and you know if you feel down, okay, at the end of the day, and if someone says to you you're fucking down or you're depressed and they're wrong, it can actually enforce it. Because I feel when you went to the doctors, after the doctors, one, you thought it was us.
Oh, I cried for days. I literally sent Jordan and Danny a voice note fucking bawling my eyes out being like, I feel fucking disgusting about myself now. Like, it made me feel worse.
But like, it's not, it was never us. It was, you were never,
No, but like, bitch, I went in there for you to give me some like a diet plan, not to tell me I'm like anorexic and depressed and need to have like, you know what I mean? I get it. To a certain extent, there was some issues there that needed to be resolved. Like as a mom, you feel like you're fucking doing it all, right? Like it is never ending. And obviously I own a business. So most days I wake up with Gray whenever he wakes up, 7:30, 8 o'clock, take him downstairs, give him his breakfast. And then it's him and the dog all day long, 24/7. By the time Josh gets home, I'm then making dinner, cleaning up the house because I can't leave my son for 5 seconds without him losing his fucking rag at the minute. And then by the time we have dinner, we do bath time, bedtime, and then I start working. And I usually work till midnight, 1, 2, 3, wake up, do it all again. And it feels like a fucking vicious cycle. I so badly wish I could go to the gym. I so badly, like, my friend had just messaged me saying, oh, like, at some point, do you want to go out for, like, drinks for your birthday or something? Yes, I would fucking love to. And you know what? To be honest, I would love to go on a night out for one night and just not have to be a mom, not have to be a business owner for a couple hours. And that is something as a woman, as a mom, even as a dad, you have to have. And I envied, moms will get this, okay? Or even dads. You know what? If you're a stay-at-home dad and your wife or your partner goes to work, whatever, fair fucks to you because this shit is hard. I'm not going to lie. And I feel like whoever the opposite partner is will never fully understand it. Josh goes, oh, well, I go to work all day. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I motherfucking wish I could go to work. I wish I could walk out of this house. Sometimes I really do.
You also think my job's really easy.
No, I know that. But sometimes I wish that, you know what? Even if I worked at Costa, sometimes I wish that I could walk out of this house at 8 a.m. and not have to think about what's going on in this house, think about any of the parenting shit, any of the dog shit on the floor down there, any of it, for a couple hours. I really wish that I could. Like, you envy whoever is going to work because you feel like they're getting a break. That's what I mean, but you feel like that's a break.
But being at work, I envy spending time with Grace.
Exactly that. It's a double-sided coin, and it is so hard to find that balance. Like,
And what I would say as well is like with it being like the male as well is like I said something to you the other day, which I don't say very often. What did I say?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember? Well, it's very important. It's a very important thing that I said, and also as much as people tell you to say these things all the time,
You say a lot of shit, though.
I think it's important that you don't say things all the time. And the reason I think it's important you don't say things all the time is the meaning disappears.
Yeah.
And if you say things all the time, it's as if you're saying it to say it.
You said
and
you were
don't
proud
mean
of
it.
me.
Exactly. I did. I say I pulled you aside or whatever you want to call it, took you for a chat, and just said how proud I am of you and how much of a good mum you are and all this sort of stuff. And I do say it.
Yeah.
But not like that all the time.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't believe I should, not that I don't think it all the time, the reason I don't say it like that all the time is because the novelty will wear off.
Yeah.
The feeling you get from hearing that will wear off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the same impact, right?
Yeah. It's just hard because sometimes you just need a little bit of validation. A lot of this is coming back into parenting and being a mom. So I do apologize, but this is for anybody. Even if you're not a mom, you'll get it. Like, to have somebody say, regardless of anything, like, you know what, if you're listening to this, if you got out of bed today, if you opened your eyes today, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, no. What you could do, though, is something Lena lacks doing.
Make the bed.
Make the fucking bed. And the reason being is because you've done something.
Yeah.
Right? If you, like...
I do enough in the fucking day. I don't give a fuck about making the bed.
Making
My
the
kid's
bed,
still alive. I've won.
if you don't have kids and nothing to rely on, get out of bed, make the bed. You've done something today. You've done something worth a reward. You've conquered the day already. You've done something.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And other things as well is you've got to it's so hard to talk about mental health because there's so many aspects of it.
Oh yeah.
In a nutshell, if
I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, but we don't have hours because I don't know how much memory I've got on my computer left. In a nutshell, if you feel a certain type of way, talk to somebody. If you think someone's feeling a certain type of way, talk to them. If you don't think someone's feeling a certain type of way, still fucking talk to them. When you greet your friend, you say, "How are you?" But actually fucking mean it. When I see a mate and I'm like, "You right, mate?" That's a throwaway. "Hello, mate. How are you doing?" "How are you? Are you okay?" Like, say it with intent and actually get them to talk. It could be a case of, "Yeah, man, everything's sweet. I'm great. Life's great." Perfect. That's good. You've done that.
But on that off chance,
you never know. You never know. And also, if you are struggling, Lena's going to dig at me for saying this. There are a few ways you can help yourself. Okay. Firstly, you can talk to people. Doesn't have to be a doctor. Listen, there are things like BetterHelp or this, which is online, which sometimes it feels better to talk to somebody who you don't know, somebody who you don't talk to very often. So like,
and it also helps to talk to somebody who has been through it, who understands. Because I feel like sometimes when we first got together, when I talked to Josh about certain things, I was like, "Oh my fucking God, boring." Like, you don't get it. Like, you tell me, "Oh, well, you just need to do this," and like brush it off before like you actually sat down and listened to like me talk about it more and more and had more of an understanding. I feel like a lot of people can brush it off.
It's hard because, like, I should understand it. My mum's tried to kill herself like 4 times.
Yeah, I know.
I should get it. I should understand it. And I do understand it. I hope that comes across. But there are things that I will say which are trying to help you. So, for an example, if you like, I should take my own advice on this one. If you feel down, go for a walk or go to the gym. It's not going to fix it, but there is a chemical in your body which releases endorphins, which makes you feel happier, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours. If it's for 5 hours, guess what? Do it again the next day. That is then 7 hours of your day where you feel better.
And if you're a woman and you don't want to go for a walk or go to the gym, go to B&M. Helps me every time.
No, but there's loads of
I
sorts
swear to
of,
God.
There's loads of sorts of, for lack of a better term, therapy. Isn't
Yeah.
there? There is.
I prefer retail therapy.
Retail therapy, but that's a true thing. There's social media therapy where you can just scroll through TikTok for hours, get lost in it, and if it stops your brain thinking about the damages and the hurtful stuff, then it stops it. Going to the gym, going for walks, start cycling, start a club. The hardest thing about all of these things is the first time doing it. Going to the gym, hardest thing is stepping foot inside. The amount of times I've driven to the fucking gym, parked in my car and returned home is ridiculous. Because the hardest part is stepping in. step into Christmas. Personal joke.
Can't wait for fucking Christmas.
But you've also got to think of what's coming as well as positives. Now, some people may be like, oh, like things like Valentine's Day, it's so depressing because I'm single. Cool. But I'm sure there's other single people. Ask them what you're doing. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. Just do something with somebody. You can start a club. The hardest thing about starting a club is starting the club and actually going to the club. Like, stupid little shit. But don't be embarrassed about anything. Fuck me. Like, I used to go to like Warhammer Club and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, anything you do, don't be embarrassed about.
And another thing, moms, if you're told to go to baby groups and that's not something that you want to do, I personally never did it.
Don't feel bad for not going.
Don't feel bad for not going. Honestly, don't. If that's something that's completely out of your comfort zone, even like a week ago, I was at my car and this woman walked past me and she was like the vicar of the church up the road. And she goes, oh yeah, we do a mom's club like every Thursday morning, like tea and coffee. And I'm like, great. I would rather go sit in Costa by myself with a fucking frappe than go to that. The idea of that just certain situations like that make me feel judged. That's the only way I can put it. I feel like you got a fucking magnifying glass on, like, oh, are you a good mom? You brought your kid to a baby group, but are you doing this right? Are you doing that right? If you don't want to go to baby groups, message me. I have a backyard. I got tea. I got coffee. I always got snacks. Come over.
Yeah, and with that as well, it's like you write your own book. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, you write your own book. And another thing as well, start a diary. Like, generally, I've not done it, but I hear that's like a really good thing to do, is just write things down. Positive, negatives in the day. Just write down all the positives in a day. When you there's somebody, I listen to a podcast and he does something, I can't remember what he calls it, but it's like a daily checklist. Okay? And
journaling, so good.
Yeah, but this guy, what he does is he writes up and he goes, right, these are the 5 things I want to achieve today.
That's why I've done that on the board
it can
downstairs.
Be going for a walk, making the bed,
brush
anything.
your teeth.
But you've done it. Set yourself targets and do it.
There's also an app I keep seeing about like a little mental health pet. It's like a little widget that you can get if you have an iPhone. I don't know if it's for Android, but it'll pop up and tell you, oh, brush your teeth today.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little thing like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Like there's so many things. But you write your own book. So whether you're a mum and it's about, so perfect example, first year of Grayson's life, Lena felt like he'd done nothing. Like she'd done nothing with him. Ask yourself, what can you do with a baby? Fuck all, other than latch them onto your tit or a bottle and let them sleep.
Joshua, that's a very horrible way to put it,
it's
but
not.
yeah.
It's true. That's
babies
all you
eat, sleep, and shit for the first year of their life. So also don't feel guilty about
like,
that.
You are your own person. You manage your own life and you handle your own life. So whether you want to go out for the day for a walk or whether you want to go and sit on the sofa, eat shit food and do whatever. I wouldn't advise the shit food because the stuff in the shit food can actually help you make you feel worse. So this is the one thing I will say is when you feel down, your body is releasing negative hormones. Those negative hormones make you want to do more negative things,
endorphins.
Which then affect, no, that's the opposite of endorphins. But they make you think about doing all this shit,
you
which
need
makes
positive
you feel worse.
endorphins, which is why people say to exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So when you feel down and you want to go and eat junk food or whatever, that's fine, but just don't make it a habit because that shit will make you feel negative because firstly, the junk food's making you feel worse. And then secondly, if you put on weight, you're going to feel worse, right?
Yeah.
So just when you're doing these things to help yourself. So like, example, Lena just said retail therapy. Retail therapy is great if you can afford it. But if you go and do retail therapy and you can't afford it and you're getting yourself in debt or you have no money, which is going to make you feel worse. So really think about these sort of things. But if you've got any questions, like I say, slide in to the DMs of this podcast. She will see it. I will see it.
As much as I hate to say it, like, Josh says all the time to me, we've had many tiffs about my work. He's like, all you do is fucking work. He's like, I come home from work and you make dinner, put Grace in bed, and then you sit down and you work. And I do. That's not a lie. I work a lot. However,
I'd like to interject with this, please.
Okay.
Because I don't say all she does is work. What I do try and do is make time for us.
Yeah, which I don't do because I'm working constantly.
Yeah, but like you make it sound like I'm saying all you do is
no,
work.
not like that.
What I
I'm
actually
not
do
fucking
is
Fallon Carrington.
I suggest
yeah.
that we make time for us because like, obviously to have a healthy relationship, but at the same time, no relationship's the same.
No.
We work perfectly because our time together tonight is this.
When he told me he was going to the gym the other night, I was fucking gassed.
Didn't go.
I hate to say, I was fucking fuming. I was like, fuck yes, I get to put on Love is Blind, sit here, watch this shitty program. That's the other thing. Shitty TV. Well, oh, I love it. Also, I don't care if nobody likes it. I don't care if it's overrated. Friends. I will watch it over and over and over.
A good comedy will help.
If I'm feeling like fucking shit, Friends, Big Bang Theory is on that motherfucking
Big Bang
TV,
Theory,
or like
yeah.
fucking Twilight, Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place.
I will
all
help
those
you as much as I
nostalgic
can, but I
shit.
can't give any more Netflix accounts out. Sorry,
But
guys.
do you know what I mean? Like things like that just make me feel better to have that on in the background, be able to sit there and work. And as much stress as my job brings me, because God knows being a business owner, this shit motherfucking stresses me out. Like my hair is falling out right now as it is, and we're not going to get into that. It has blessed me in so many ways because it does keep my mind off of other things. Because if I wasn't working, I think I'd be so fucking depressed. And I'm not being funny. I'd rather be stressed and blessed than depressed.
Yeah.
Also, listen to Sabrina Carpenter, automatic endorphin hit. And she's
Boom.
fucking hot.
I'm going to end this with 2 points. 2 points to end this. The last point is going to be slightly funny, but true. And the other point is...
Go on then.
I just forgot. I literally forgot.
Oh, no.
I forgot. I know the second one, but the first point, I needed to say that because it's important. Shit, man. Oh yeah, no. So the important part is as well is don't let other people judge you. So like for an example, we were just talking about our relationship. Yeah, our relationship works the best when we're doing our own thing.
Yes.
Okay. So for an example, this is a day in the life of myself and Lena. So I'll go to work. Okay, so I'll wake up at 5:30, be out the door at 6. 5:30, get in the shower, go to work, get home about any time from 2:30 to
5.
6.
Yeah.
Anytime my job isn't structured, so I can be at home anytime in between those. While I'm doing that, Lena's being a great mum. She's doing that. I get home, Lena will cook dinner. We'll sit at the table. We'll have dinner together as a family most nights. Then I will take the dog for a walk. Lena will then relax. Grayson goes to bed at 6:30. I'll take the dog for a walk. You'll do what you do. When I get home from the dog walk, one of 3 things will happen. I will either sit downstairs, watch TV, and we probably won't talk because you'll be working.
Yeah.
Or we will talk, but very little. I will come up here and I will edit the podcast or stream. Mm-hmm. Or I will go to the gym. Now, a lot of people would look at that and be like, you're spending no time together. That's not a real relationship, right? Mm. But it works for us.
And that's the thing, like last week and like on the weekends, like that's the thing as well people don't see. I am now booked almost every single weekend until February of next year. Yeah. And so we are forcing ourselves, like I said a million times, we're going out to dinner tomorrow because it's my birthday. That's going to be very nice for us. Mm-hmm. Saturday, my friends are coming, which is going to be great. And they're staying the night. So we'll have some time with them on Sunday. But I said to him on Sunday, after they've gone, I want to go to the lake that's near us and take some pictures. Mind you, that is still something like a little bit for me because he doesn't take pictures, but to take Gray out and just go on a walk. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But like when we get in bed at night is when we spend our time together. Like we'll watch fucking TikToks or something.
Ghost hunting videos.
Yeah, ghost hunting videos. I really fucking hope to fuck that's up because I want to watch that so bad. But on the weekends, I'm not here. Last week you had late nights almost every night, didn't you? Mm. And then Friday you came home. We did that last podcast with Jamie.
And then you were gone until Sunday night.
I was literally gone. Yeah. I woke up Saturday morning, 8 a.m., went to a wedding all day long, didn't get back till midnight, woke up Sunday morning, had 2 shoots in my studio, had to get the studio prepped, and it was fucked.
And if we use Lena's logic, I worked 7 days that week. No, actually, because Grayson was at my mum's for one of them, I worked 6 days.
Oh, yeah.
No, but there's other things as well. Like, relationships have stress, okay? So don't get depressed about any of that. Like, generally...
You can't say don't get depressed about it, but like, talk about it.
Yeah, you just talk about it because... basically relationships have stress, and at the end of the day outside factors can cause stress. You just got to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Now the last thing I want to mention is hangovers, and the reason I want to talk about hangovers is there's one reason.
I plan to have one next weekend.
This is mainly for men, but also women, I guess. When you go out drinking, the day after you'll have a hangover, you will feel super, not depressed, but down, negative. Yeah. When you got a hangover, you just feel like shit, and all the alcohol makes you feel negative. There is hangover masturbation, okay? And
what the
shit
fuck are you
not,
about?
As a male, wake up, drink a pint of water,
beat your meat,
beat one out, and you will feel 10 times better. Obviously, I don't do it anymore because I wake up with you when I'm hungover, but that's a fact.
Great. Good to know.
All right.
The point I want to make, as I said, there is help for people. If you need resources, feel free to message one of us or the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to send them out to you. My inbox is always open. Josh's inbox is always open. The response will probably be from me anyway. And also, if you come to us for anything like that, we will never tell a soul. It's completely confidential. You know, just whatever. I'm always here, and I will always make time for anybody. And if you feel like you don't have anybody, even if you're not struggling with mental health and you just feel a bit lonely, you need a friend, that's me too. You know, I've moved away from all of my friends, you know, and I met a girl in B&M the other day. I was fucking gobsmacked.
Yeah.
We literally sat there looking at, funnily enough, the Libra cups, and we like made friends. She added me on Instagram. We talk on Snapchat. I'm like, this is fucking great. If you want to go for a walk, even if you don't want to go for a walk, if you want to come sit in my house and watch shitty TV and drink my tea, you don't even have to talk to me. Just come use my house. It's fine.
That's what being in a relationship with us like. You just don't talk. No, I'm
Yeah.
joking. Listen, this has probably been the longest episode, and I'm actually quite scared that when I hit stop, it's not going to save this. So if you never hear it, I do apologise. But if you do, please check us out on all socials: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
All of
Twitter,
the things.
fucking Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're literally
Apple
everywhere.
Music, the lot.
Just type in Breeze and Bants podcast or Breeze and Bants, and we'll be there. Please like, share, and subscribe, because this could really fucking help somebody. And I mean this more than any other
And
episode.
share it with somebody if you think they need it.
Like it, share it, and even the little shorts that I make from this, hopefully it will pull the good shit out and fling it out to you. Just share it, because you never know. It could just be someone on your newsfeed who sees it and goes, oh fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
that was my sign.
Yeah.
Two things. We love you and we're proud of you. Last thing.
T-shirts, jumpers, like they are literally made to order. So if you do want one, just message me, because then I have to make the person who creates them, and so on and so on. But yeah, we hope you liked it. Peace.
Word to your mother. Ice, ice, big to go.